Deep within the murky waters of the Amazon rainforest, a creature hides, possessing a power that rivals our modern.
In this low-visibility environment, sight is secondary, and survival depends on a different kind of sense.
This is the electric eel, not truly an eel, but a knife fish, capable of generating a shock that commands respect from every other predator.
While it looks unassuming, beneath this skin lies a sophisticated biological machine refined by millions of years of evolution.
Growing up to 8 feet in length and weighing nearly 4 to 5 pounds, much of its body is devoted to one singular purpose: generating electricity.
To understand the shock, we must look inside. The eel's body contains 3 specialized electric organs.
Amazingly, all its vital organs are packed into the front 20% of its body, and the rest is essentially a massive battery pack.
The secret weapon is the electrocyte. These modified muscle cells are the fundamental building blocks of the eel's electric power.
An electric eel can have up to 6,000 of these cells stacked in series, acting exactly like a voltaic pile in a battery. In a resting state, the electrocyte pumps out sodium and potassium ions, maintaining a neutral charge, waiting for a signal.
The attack begins in the brain. A command nucleus fires a signal that races down the spinal cord to the electric organs.
This neural signal hits the back of the electrocyte, triggering the release of a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine.
Instantly, ion channels open on just one face of the cell, allowing positively charged sodium ions to rush in.
This influx reverses the polarity on that side of the cell for a split second, creating a dipole, a positive end and a negative end.
Individually, each electrocyte generates only a tiny voltage, roughly 0.15 volts, hardly enough to feel.
But because they are wired in series, these tiny voltages add up, just like stacking batteries in a flashlight. Millions of cells align in parallel columns, allowing the eel to not only generate high voltage, but also significant current. This creates a massive potential difference, with the head becoming the positive pole and the tail the negative pole.
Freshwater is not a perfect conductor, so the eel must generate immense power to push the current through the water to its target.
The eel doesn't always use full power. It constantly emits low-voltage pulses from the Sachs organ for echolocation.
This sixth sense acts like radar, allowing the eel to navigate the dark, muddy riverbeds without using its eyes. When these weak pulses hit a conductive object, like a fish, the disruption in the field alerts the eel to a potential meal. Once prey is detected, the eel switches tactics, preparing its main organ for a high-voltage discharge.
It often fires at dulces that cause the mollusc's muscles to jog voluntarily.
The prey cannot hide. The electricity hijacks its nervous system, forcing it to move and betray its cover.
Now the eel commits. All thousands of electrocytes synchronize to fire at the exact same millisecond.
To ensure maximum power, the nerve signals are timed perfectly, compensating for the distance down the tail.
The strike is instantaneous, a volley of high-frequency pulses reaching up to 600 volts.
This causes immediate tetanus in the prey, a state where all muscles contract simultaneously, paralyzing the victim. Effectively, the eel acts as a remote control, taking over the prey's body with its own electrical signals. Unlike a venomous snake, the eel doesn't need to touch its target to incapacitate it. The water carries the attack.
With the prey frozen, the eel moves in for the kill, using suction to inhale the fish whole.
The meal is swallowed instantly, destined for the stomach located surprisingly close to the head.
Generating such high voltage is energy intensive, and the eel may rest briefly after a significant discharge.
But the 600-volt shock isn't just for hunting. It is a formidable defensive weapon against larger predators.
Surprisingly, electric eels are obligate air breathers, surfacing every few minutes to gulp oxygen.
This necessity to surface makes them vulnerable, but their electric shield keeps most threats at bay.
For difficult prey, the eel curls its body, bringing the positive and negative poles closer together to intensify the field.
This maneuver concentrates the electric field, doubling the effective shock delivered to the trapped victim.
Think about that. 600 volts is roughly 5 times the power of a standard US wall outlet. It's enough to knock a human off their feet and drown them.
While rarely fatal directly, the shock causes muscle paralysis, which can lead to drowning in deep water.
It's not just voltage. The eel can deliver about 1 ampere of current, making it far more dangerous than a standard taser.
In self-defense, eels have been observed leaping out of the water to press their chin directly against a threat.
By leaving the water, the eel prevents the current from dissipating, forcing the full charge directly through the attacker's body. This behavior confirms legends told by explorer Alexander von Humboldt, who witnessed eels attacking horses crossing the Amazon. Humboldt noted that the eels eventually exhausted their electrical supply, allowing the horses to cross safely.
Like any battery, they need time to recharge, pumping ions back across the membranes to restore potential.
The electric eel isn't alone. Bioelectricity has evolved independently at least 6 times in the history of fish.
Evolution repurposed standard muscle cells, removing their ability to contract and enhancing their ability to generate voltage.
Genetic studies show that the same gene switches were turned off to stop muscle contraction in all electric fish.
One common question remains. Why doesn't the electric eel shock itself when it attacks?
Its vital organs are protected by thick layers of adipose tissue and skin that act as high-quality electrical insulation.
Furthermore, electricity follows the path of least resistance, flowing out into the water, rather than back through the eel. However, they aren't immune. They likely feel the shock but have developed a much higher physiological tolerance than their prey.
Recent discoveries have shown something terrifying. Electric eels sometimes hunt in packs.
They herd small fish into a bait ball, coordinating their movements like a pack of wolves.
When they strike together, the combined voltage creates a zone of absolute paralysis that few fish can escape.
The eel's unique anatomy is now inspiring human innovation, leading to new types of power sources.
Researchers are developing soft batteries for medical implants and soft robots, modeled directly on the electrocyte stack.
Unlike toxic chemical batteries, these bio-inspired power sources use body-safe fluids, just like the eel.
We are still learning. Recently, scientists identified 2 new species of electric eel, one capable of 860 volts, Electrophorus voltae, named after the battery inventor Volta, is the strongest bioelectric generator known to science.
Its higher voltage is likely an adaptation to the low conductivity freshwater of the highland shields it inhabits.
Electricity also plays a crucial role in courtship, with males and females singing electric duets to find mates. Males are fierce guardians, building foam nests and using their shock to protect the developing fry from predators.
Even juveniles, only inches long, can generate enough electricity to be noticed, honing their skills early. As an apex predator, the electric eel shapes the ecosystem, controlling fish populations and enjoying a life with few threats.
While others rely on sight or smell, the eel dominates the dark with a sensory system that sees through mud and darkness.
Despite their power, they are efficient, spending much of their time motionless to conserve the metabolic cost of recharging.
Today, their biggest threat isn't a predator, but habitat loss and the changing chemistry of the Amazon basin.
Protecting these creatures is vital, not just for the ecosystem, but for the biological secrets they have yet to reveal.
The mechanism is elegant, a biological cascade converting chemical energy into electrical power with frightening speed.
It remains one of the few instances where biology outperforms human engineering in efficiency and compactness.
To encounter an electric eel is to witness a living anomaly, a creature that has mastered a force of nature.
As night falls on the Amazon, the river becomes a treacherous place. But the eel is perfectly at home.
It moves without sound, hunts without light, and strikes without warning.
From the microscopic channels in its cells to the massive shock waves it creates, it is a masterpiece of evolution.
It leaves us with a reminder that nature's ingenuity is boundless, often stranger and more powerful than fiction. The Amazon keeps its secrets well, but the spark of the electric eel shines brightly in the darkness.
A living generator, a remote control hunter, and a biological marvel. The electric eel truly is one of the most shocking creatures on Earth.